Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the For the Badge podcast, the Arsenal special. I am your host, Alfie Jackson. I'm joined here by three fellow Arsenal fans, Phantom, Saeed, aka North Bank's finest, and Kems. Boys, how we doing? How you feeling? Starting off with you, Phantom. How you feeling?
What a question. That's even a question in itself, man. I'm feeling mixed, man. I feel like mixed. We'll get
Yeah.
up to that in a minute.
Saeed.
A bit nervous. Good to be on here, but I'm sure we've got a lot to
Got a lot to talk about. And Kems.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just thinking that I'm just exhausted now. I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
I get you.
It's been a long season, man.
We'll get into it.
This has
So
been a
let's
long,
get
hard season.
started. Let's get started, boys, shall we? So, obviously, the result yesterday was a poor one for us. West Ham 2, Arsenal 2. Do you feel like if we don't win the league now from this point on, is it a failure in terms of our season overall? Phantom, what do you think?
It's impossible. In my opinion, we have literally gone from fifth place and we have improved like 200%. But unfortunately, the squad that we're up against, we've improved to this level. Like we've improved the maximum you could humanely ask against last season. We're there now, and the league might still not belong to us. So I can't lie. These young boys have gone berserk. They must have sacrificed a lot to put into what they've had.
It is very impressive. It's very impressive what the team's been able to do this season, considering, Arteta's only been in the job for 2.5 years, and the average age of the squad, I believe, is around 24, 25. So, like, it's a very young squad. They're very inexperienced. But you didn't answer the question. Would you say it's a failure of a season?
No.
If we don't win the league? No. Why?
No, it's not. It's a failure of a season. No, because I could end the season right now and it's already like progress, green shoot tick. Like progress is so mad that to call it a failure is almost an insult to what we've done.
Saeed, do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with Lombe. Like, you can't call this season a failure, considering we were fighting for Champions League last season, and now we've got Champions League basically sewn up. But when you think about it, like, might never ever be in a position like this again. Like, top of the league, 8 games to go. It's in our hands. If we don't go and win it, then the argument's there that we have failed. But on the whole, I've got no complaints with how the season's going.
What about you, Kems?
I kind of agree, but the only thing I disagree with Saeed on is that we won't get back here again, bro. I feel like if you look at our squad, we're so young, and it is so. I feel like the biggest word about it is kind of with this. It's disappointing. If we don't win it this season, it is so disappointing because we've been top the whole time. But then you got to look who's behind us, bro. It's City, and they've got that big monster up top. Like, how can we really compete with that? It's tough, bro. Look at our team. Like, realistically, we're out kicking our coverage, bro. We're not as good as a lot of these other. Well, player for player, we're probably better than some. But when it comes to City, man, it's amazing that we've even kept them off.
There's not a lot of teams man for man. There's not a lot of teams man for man that are better than City. Like in any league, in any team across the world, like man for man, City probably have arguably the best team in the world. So I'll agree with you on that. But me personally, I don't think it's a failed season either. I don't think it's a failure of a season because from what I'm sure we can all agree on is that we expected to just fight for top 4 this season. No one expected us to fight for the league this season. Would we all agree on that?
Before the season, that's for sure.
Yeah, top 4 was the main
100%.
target, right?
Top 4,
There we go then. There exactly. We have a question for Saeed. Excuse me. Knowing City is very close, how nervous are you? Knowing the form City are in, I know you're bricks right now. Be honest, Abdul. What do you say to that, Saeed?
Well, I am very nervous. Like we're in a title race, young boys coming through the team. None of them have been in it before, so I don't. It's all about how they react and how it's going to be. Arteta's obviously he's got his experience with City in the Premier League, winning titles. Hopefully that experience will help us a lot. But like Kem said, we're fighting a monster. Like these guys have been there, done that, battle-hardened guys. Like, just got to go along for the ride and just go with
and
it.
just enjoy it, I guess. Yeah. That's
literally.
true.
Ride the wave. It's just it's anything I can say. But
Exactly.
I am nervous, 100%.
So, next question. I'm going to move on to the next subject then. If Arsenal don't win the league this season, what would that be down to? What is the reason for that? Lumbe, Phantom, you start us off.
If we don't win the league, what is it down to? Lack of quality and depth.
Right.
Lack of experience. Lack of... Yeah, I think that those are the main things. We don't have the depth, to do what Man City do. Man City are the only team that I know in world football who can make you forget about Foden for 2 months. And then it's like all of a sudden, hey, it's Foden. He's on flames now. We can't do that. Like, I saw them bench with chest, I saw them bench De Bruyne against Tottenham. They lost the game, but I mean, like, imagine us deciding, like, we're playing, I don't know, Man United. Like, Ødegaard bench today. We can't.
That would be a bit bizarre. I would be very surprised if that happened, especially he's the club captain. So, like, De Bruyne, he's the club captain, I'm sure, for Man City as well, isn't he? Or is it someone else? I'm not too sure. No, it's not De Bruyne. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that because it would be a very bizarre decision, regardless whether you're club captain or not. Odegaard's one of the best players for Arsenal. De Bruyne.
These guys played without Haaland and smashed Liverpool. Smashed with Alvarez up front.
City are just such a machine. What about you, Saeed?
I think it's just these last 2 weeks. That's what it is. The big moments might not look like we've delivered. You know, dropping 2-0 wins, Liverpool, West Ham away. That's what champions are made of. They've got to see it through. And we just haven't done it. So it's just the big moments, making the big decisions.
Yeah. That's funny. It's funny you mentioned about the 2-0 leads. We're the first team ever, unfortunately, I have to say this, we're the first team ever to drop 2-0 leads in 2 consecutive games while being sat on top of the table. We're the first team ever to do it. Kems, what do you have to say about that?
I feel like it is the fact that we've been so good up until now, and the fact that it's fallen off around about now shows that it's just an experience. Because we've all watched us this whole season, and realistically, we should be beating West Ham away comfortably. Like, if anything, we play better away than at home. So I feel like it is an experience. But at the same time, I think it is also having that pressure of this is City, this isn't anyone. And realistically, they are like purring at the right time. So we do not even have any like kind of room to fuck up. It's just it's not good. So it's tough.
Apologies for the language there, people. Sorry about that. It's all right, Kems. Don't worry. Kems, don't worry. It's fine. No, but I agree with you. But what do you... So, Kems, coming back to you real quick.
Yeah.
What do you think is the reason for the last 2 weeks, our slip-up these last 2 weeks? What do you think that's down to?
I feel like against Liverpool, it was kind of just a turn in everything. Like, we started off so well, and then towards maybe later end of the first half, you could just kind of see that. But I don't want to just put it on Xhaka because it's so easy to just look at that situation and just say, oh, Xhaka. But I think it was a bit more than that. You could see they were trying to just push forward a little bit. Then Salah gets that goal, and just the Anfield is just fully into it. So I feel like that was more Anfield and just us trying to hang on for dear life than it was us just botting anything. But in that West Ham game, that's the one that kind of made me concerned, because that was just completely, we just let it get to our heads. And I think it kind of was spurred on by the Liverpool game, but we need to really sort that out, because we're going to have to see our games if we want to carry on going.
Yeah, Phantom and Said, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with Kev, but I feel like it's the pressure as well. There's a lot of pressure to deliver a title. All of us have been talking for a while about seeing it come home, the parade and all of that. And I feel like these players, they read it, they might have gotten into their heads. Like, it's a pressure like no other fighting for a title. And I feel like with the inexperience the young lads have, it's hard to keep up all the performances that they've been doing. And yeah, I feel like it's a domino effect. The Liverpool game, 2-0 up, drawing 2-2, and then West Ham 2-2. I feel like it's the pressure. Yeah,
that's I just
Sorry, I feel like it's kind of the opposite. Like when we had the pressure on a 0-0, then we blew through the pressure, and then it's like we're gone 2-0 up. We're playing 4-0 football at 2-0. Like I think we relaxed. Like you're not at the next game yet. Kill. Like I said it to you, Alfie, yesterday.
You said it yesterday.
We're playing with our food. We're playing with our food. Like you have to. Look, Man City, they don't stop until the 3-0, 3 minimum. Otherwise, the goals make them stronger. This season we've been like that. We get one goal, we get stronger. But that we've just kicked into this mode now where it's like, 2-0, the game's done. No, it's not done. Your goal difference is already behind Man City's. Like
that's a big factor as well. The goal difference. I'll agree with you on that. I've just seen another comment saying Saliba being injured is a big factor as well, which I personally really have to agree with. Like Saliba's arguably been our best defender this season. Him and Gabriel have formed such a solid partnership at the back. It's monumental, and it makes a big difference for us, I believe, the way we play. And also yesterday we were missing Zinchenko. You know, that's arguably for me, Zinchenko. I don't mean to sound crazy, but it's kind of gone under the radar, I feel like, for a lot of people. I think Zinchenko has been arguably a signing of the season, in my opinion. Not Gabriel Jesus. Haaland and Zinchenko, I'd say, are signings of the season. I think so, because I think Zinchenko has been the player that's actually made the biggest difference to us as a team. Just him being able to play that inverted fullback role so perfectly, I think he's been arguably our best signing and arguably signing of the season in terms of the league as a whole. So yeah, good stuff there, boys. Another subject I want to talk about. We've all been talking about the team's lack of experience and the average young age of the squad, but like we said, they're a young team, and they're performing this well at such a young age. So this leads me to my next thing that I want to ask you boys about. Do you think we're going to challenge for the league continuously? Do you think we're going to continue to challenge for it, or was this just do you think this is just a one-off season, like just that was it, like a Leicester season? Do you think this is it? Saeed, what do you think?
I think we'll be there and thereabouts, but in terms of opportunity, like with all the teams, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Spurs, not all singing from the same hymn sheet, playing as how well they usually do. It's going to be like, and just having City to play, just to face them in the title would be an advantage to us with only one team in the title race. But knowing all those other teams, they're going to get stronger, they're going to get better. It all depends on what we do, how we recruit in the summer, who we get. The players are only going to get better as well. Like you said, youngest squad in the league. It's just all about the recruitment.
I think we're second youngest, either first or second. I'm not too sure, but we're definitely one of those two. So yeah,
definitely there or thereabouts. So yeah, 100%. I feel like in terms of opportunity, we might not get a better chance, but I still believe the squad and the team will be there and thereabouts for the next few years to come.
Kems?
As I said before, I feel like this is an amazing opportunity, but at the end of the day, you have to be really realistic with ourselves and think, are we going to go and beat City, beat Newcastle away, and beat Brighton at home? And realistically, I think City will probably win all their games, just how they look right now. I don't know. That's why I'm just like,
I agree.
As tough as it's as hard as it's going to be to accept it. I feel like if we do come second, it's tough, but disappointing. But I feel like we will be back. So I don't think it should be anything that we're like, oh my god, this is the only time I'm going to see this in my lifetime. I've heard people say that, so I'm just like, nah, relax. Saka's still going to be here. He's going to sign his contract. We'll keep going, man. We go again. And this isn't a thing where I heard someone say, "Oh, like Arteta out if we come second." Like, that's outrageous, man. Come on, think about how much we progressed. He's even come. Like, come on. Yeah.
Someone actually said Arteta out. Oh, that's crazy.
Bro, I've seen all sorts. I've seen all sorts.
Tends to be the United fans.
I feel like it depends on how. But you know what? Yeah, Arsenal are like clay. We are clay. We could form into any shape. We're still in that clay stage where anything can happen. But it depends next season. For me, next season depends on how we finish this one, and on top of that, how we recruit in the summer. Because one thing I will say, let me say this for 1 second here. It would be so typical of Arsenal right now, where our heads are all gone. Like, yeah, we accepted it, Man City.
Throw our hands in the air, wave the white flag. Yeah.
It would be so typical of Arsenal to go and beat Man City at the Etihad and get one more. Like, come on, Arsenal.
Yeah.
It will be so typical. That will be such an Arsenal.
Think about it. Typical. We do that and then still bottle it.
Remember the FA? Yeah, exactly. We'll bottle it after that.
We'll lose to Chelsea.
But basically, if we have a window, because sorry, last thing to say, Alfie. Yeah, last season when we bottled top 4, everybody said that was your last chance to get top 4, and then we went in the summer and then we recruited properly. Yeah, if we have another proper window, and this window is important. We've got Xhaka, Partey, and a couple of other players that we have to like address now. Like you've been leaving it too long. Yeah, you've been leaving it too long and like letting it play out, and it's worked up to now. But now, like we have to address that. If we get like Declan Rice and Milinkovic Savic, then we're bullying next season. We're bullying.
That midfield's going to be bullying. Love that. Rick,
100%.
Rick's asked, do you think any of the best Arsenal players will leave the club if Arsenal don't win the league? I'll start us off here. No, I don't think. I don't think any of them are going to leave. I don't. If I had to narrow it down to our best players, so that's Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel, Ramsdale, Partey. I could just. Ricky, I know is a Tottenham fan, so you know he's not used to having like really good players this season. So like, meanwhile, I could just list it off one after the other. So you know it's fine. But
he's too busy watching Richarlison.
Exactly, exactly. The knockoff Gabriel Jesus, you know what I mean? Like, signed him for 15 million more, hasn't scored any goals in the Premier League except 3 offside ones. Like, come on, man. No.
And he celebrated hard for every single goal, and then he got
pitching celebration as well. Nah, man. I don't think
you know that relief celebration. Finally, I got my goal.
He might as well be their club mascot because they got a flipping chicken on top of a ball and everything for their logo. He might as well be their mascot, man. I don't think any of our best players will leave. I think what we'll do is we'll clean out because what Arteta's done, he's gotten rid of most of the dead wood since he joined. Like his first 11 when he first, like for his first game, I think it was against Bournemouth back in 2019. To his first 11 now is complete. I think there's only like one player left from that team, and it's Saka, and that's it. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I know he's made drastic change. Exactly, he's cleared out the dead wood.
Yeah, and Granit as well, probably.
And Granit, yes, sorry, Granit as well. Granit Xhaka, yes, that was it. I don't think any of our best players are leaving. I think we'll recruit some more. I will strengthen, especially with Champions League football. Champions League football is going to be a massive factor. That's going to be huge for us, whether we win the league or not, I think. And that's been a reason why it's been difficult for us to recruit for the last 7 years, because we haven't been in the Champions League. It's been so painful to have to talk about and admit. But do you boys agree?
Yeah.
The only person 100%. I'd worry about would be Saliba.
Saliba, because he hasn't signed his contract. He needs to still sign his contract. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Another question. We've got another question here. Is Partey still the best defensive mid in the league? And we're not going to answer the side question, but is he still the best defensive midfielder in the league? Phantom.
In my opinion, 100%. I still think so. Like,
yeah,
I've not. What defensive midfielder do you know that can basically defend close to Casemiro and Fabinho in their prime? He can play in midfield like Thiago Alcantara. I've seen double Cruyff turns from this guy.
Because he's good. He's good at going forward as well, isn't he? He's good going forward.
Yeah, Like he's literally a complete player. He's one of the few players who you can just put in your midfield and be like, what problems are there need to solve? Everyone else has got their roles. I would just plug. I'll just do whatever the team's not doing.
Would
Partey
you say
is so complete he can do that, basically.
Would you boys say he's the closest thing we've had to Patrick Vieira since he left?
For sure. In my opinion.
100%. But I feel like he feels more like Diaby than Vieira for some reason to me.
Diaby, that's a
really?
throwback.
Diaby's more of an attacking eight.
I don't know. Just the way he runs.
Felt
you know
more
what I mean? He's just so fast, but it's
No, but he feels like Partey feels like Gilberto and Alex Stock with a bit of Diaby's dribbling.
Yeah,
that's what he feels.
He has Alex Song in it.
I feel like the best way to judge Partey's impact is when he's not in the team.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. That's exactly what I was about to say, Saeed.
Like we look lost without him. He just adds everything: bite, steal, presence, all of the above.
Presence.
That's what we need. Yeah. He makes us tick as well.
Troops likes to say, presence, blood. Presence. Yeah. No, I agree, 100%. He's the dog's doolies for sure. Yeah. I think so.
He's one of the only players I feel like if we can't play without him. Like if we take him out of the team, we get significantly worse. Like I just remember
do you think if we signed Declan Rice in the summer, then that problem would be solved though? Like, so we had to take him out. We had to take Partey out if he's injured again.
If Rice comes, Rice will definitely play in his position. But I feel like Rice and Partey could play together as well. I feel like Rice has got something going forward. It just needs to be unleashed out of him.
Yeah.
And I feel like playing alongside someone like Partey.
You know what is kind of interesting? Yeah.
Well, you know what is kind of
interesting as well is that we have, you know what is kind of interesting? We have Jorginho in there as well. Yeah. So I don't even know, like it's a good problem to have, but we have so many kind of deep flying maybe playmakers and even Partey and Declan Rice who'd be like proper enforcers. So
this is the thing.
My two signings in the summer, two midfield signings, literally Declan Rice and Milinkovic. If we get them two, it's over.
I think Milinkovic-Savic would be way too expensive. I think he'd be too expensive.
No, he's not signing a contract. He's not signing a contract.
I reckon
he's a man. He's played in Sarri's system, so he can definitely come and play in our system. I thought he wouldn't be able to play in Sarri's system because I did think he would be like a Sarri player, but he's been running that system. It's absolutely complete. He'll be the upgrade to Granit Xhaka. All the attacking things that we expect from Granit Xhaka, Milinkovic-Savic can do. He'll get headers for us in the box. He will be, and you can plug him in left 8 or right 8. You can have Declan Rice, Partey, and Milinkovic. Imagine taking that away to Anfield.
That would be a solid midfield. Nobody's beating that midfield. I can't see anybody beating that midfield. Bupe has asked, is Casemiro and Rodri a joke to you guys? Rodri's not. Rodri's not. Rodri's not. Casemiro right now, on the other hand.
He has to play games first.
Isn't he still serving a suspension? So no comment on Casemiro, but Rodri, yeah. You know, I respect Rodri. But you know,
I can't lie. Do you know what Casemiro reminds me of? I said it yesterday in the show. He's like Thiago Silva in midfield. That's what he reminds me of. I can't lie. He's a boss.
Do explain.
He's a boss, Casemiro.
I remember you said this yesterday. I didn't get it. Explain it, please.
In the sense that, you know, those old-fashioned players who are just cut from that cloth where their maturity is permanent and they just do what the game's asking them to do. Yeah. People make it sound like Casemiro ain't a baller, but he's more of a baller than people give him credit to. I've seen him spray passes, outside foot through balls. I've seen him score screamers from outside the box. He is a pretty complete footballer. He ain't like Mr. Technical ability, but bruv, Casemiro is an absolute complete monster of a 6. So was Fabinho.
He's very physical. He's a physical monster for sure. 100%. Well, that was good, boys. And moving on to the next topic. What would you say has been the best and the worst moment of the season so far? Who wants to go first?
Kems.
You go first. Kems, you go first.
Okay. I feel like we're all gonna pick probably like one or two of the same things. So I'm gonna say best
You'll be
is so
surprised for
obvious.
mine.
Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson when he scored that bang at the end of. Yeah.
Ooh, I even forgot about that.
And worst, I feel like worst was this has just happened right now. Worst was literally West Ham. West Ham away.
Explain why? Why though? Why?
Because you know it
Why
is.
do you think that?
I can stomach the Liverpool one because it was at Anfield. But West Ham away, I was so confident going into that game. I was thinking, you know what, we're just gonna bounce back and just walk off the ducks back. But we went into that game 2-0 up, and I'm thinking, okay, hang on, all right, let's try and get another one. Don't take a foot off the gas, and that's exactly what we did. And it's kind of put us in a position where we have to get something from the Etihad, or we literally it's going to be so tough. So I don't know. It's just put so much pressure on us, and the fact that I think, it was just tough. And literally, like Thomas Partey, we were just talking about in one of the best DMs in the world. He didn't look great. That's probably one of the worst performances I've seen him play. So I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't have his best game. I don't think Odegaard had a good game yesterday. Well, he had a good first half, and then in the second half he fell off a little bit. And then Saka, we'll get to that. Saeed.
Best moment for me, probably the winner against United at the Emirates. I think that was a lot of character shown by the boys. That last 20 minutes, like I've never seen us play any.
It was intense.
Football. Yeah, we were just all over them, and we came back from 1-0 down. They brought it back to 2-2.
I went ballistic when that goal went in.
Yeah.
I went ballistic.
I was literally, I could have that game and just getting one over them as well. Best.
Yeah,
like
especially because they were the first team to beat us this season, getting revenge.
Made it all the more sweeter.
Oh.
Yeah, the Saka celebration as well.
Yeah,
Rashford. You can't ask for more. The last second winner. It had everything.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
About the worst moment, probably Saliba's injury. Like Saliba, Tomiyasu getting injured in the same game. I reckon that Lisbon game was probably the worst.
Not ideal. Not ideal.
Yeah, like we haven't been the same without Saliba and Tomiyasu.
It looks like we're hearing news that Saliba might be coming back soon. It shouldn't be that bad. He should be all right. We're not going to miss him for the rest of the season. Hopefully, touch wood. So once he comes back in, I agree with you. We'll be revitalized in that defense for sure.
Yeah. And the honourable mention will have to be the City game as well at the Emirates. Like all eyes on us. Big Wednesday game.
Wait, which one?
The one at the Emirates when we lost 3-1.
No, we've had 2 games at the Emirates, remember, against them this season. The FA Cup.
FA Cup was at
Etihad.
Was it Etihad?
Yeah,
oh my God,
Etihad,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I thought that was at the Emirates. I'm a fake fan.
The one at the Emirates, that was
that was killer. That was killer.
1-1. Then Haaland does his thing. I felt like that could have been a great statement of intent. Title could have been, really, really done there and then. Like all that momentum from beating City. I think it was just a what if moment. If we just took it, who knows where we could have been.
Phantom.
Okay, you know what? Man United was my moment of the season. So I'm going to give my second place moment of the season, was the Liverpool game, first minute. Because that was the first game, the big game where it's like, this is the big game. Arsenal. Yeah. And then all that tension, I remember that weekend, and even just like, and it's live from Martin Tyler. And you're just like, kick off. Oh, we need to win this game. Oh, this is mad, yeah. And then 1 minute in, it's like, Martinelli! And I don't know if you remember this, Alfie, yeah? I was actually at that game, and we was doing the badge, right?
Yes.
And obviously, we went away to try and find a place to watch the game in it after we're kicking off now. We're packing up, right?
I wasn't at the Liverpool game. I wasn't at the Liverpool
game. Right.
I wasn't at the Liverpool game, just to clarify.
Who's the guy from Don Robbie's channel that we interviewed the other day, the Liverpool fan? I've forgotten his name, but he interviewed me, right? As the game kicked off. He interviewed me, and he's like, what do you think is going to happen today? And we're right outside the Emirates. Like, what do you think is going to happen today? It's like 20 seconds in. And I'm talking about, I'm nervous. And then you hear the Emirates erupt behind me.
Crazy.
And I'm like, yes, come on. I haven't even started yet. Come on. That's after Man United. That's my moment of the season, because I was like, okay, something's different. For sure, something different in the air. My worst moment of the season, when De Bruyne went and pushed Arteta and nobody stepped up. Do you know why? The reason why I wore this shirt? Yeah? Do you know the reason why I wore this shirt today? Yeah? Because imagine Arsene Wenger. Imagine somebody touches Arsene Wenger from those events.
Oh,
imagine Patrick Vieira, Henry, Bergkamp, Perez. They'll all be like, what? You did what to our manager at home, at our home, and our pet? Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody was naturally inclined to react to that. That was disappointing for me.
I forgot about that, you know.
That's my biggest disappointment in the season.
Yeah, I fully forgot as well.
Yeah.
Don't grab our manager.
No.
You're second place, and you grab our manager, and nobody, not a single person from the Arsenal team reacted to that. That's not George Graham, Arsene Wenger. Touch our manager, you're finished.
Right. For me, best moment, I'll probably have to give it to the Bournemouth game. I'll say the Bournemouth game, because that's the one, like, when I saw it going in, that's the craziest I went, because purely because of how late it was. And the fact it's Bournemouth, respect to Bournemouth, but we should be beating Bournemouth more comfortably than we beat Bournemouth. That I went mental. That was a great moment. Honourable mentions for it, though, I'd give to Man United, the Man United game at the Emirates, the Liverpool game, but also, no one said this, and I'm surprised no one said this, doing the double over Spurs for the first time in however long in a Premier League season, getting 6 points over Spurs, winning at their ground as well, making their ground our training ground, bro. I've never been so relaxed watching us go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I've never been so relaxed.
I think that's what it was.
Play there. We made it our training.
I think that's what it was.
Same as Stamford Bridge as well. But we beat Chelsea regularly, so it's fine. What's it say? What's that comment say? Lombe is because Arteta is lost the dressing room. What? You might want to rephrase that, my friend. Worst moment.
That's from the badge as well. What's going on, mate?
Someone's drunk.
That's from our thing as well. You need to restructure your comment there. What else was I going to say? Worst moment, and I'm surprised no one mentioned this either, was the Everton loss. Because
oh my gosh,
that was the first. We lost to Man United, right? And but we lost. We were quite unlucky not to win that game. We had a goal disallowed, which should have been, which PGMOL said later on in the season they should have allowed it, and that probably would have changed that game completely, flipped it on its head. So I'm not counting that. The first loss that I think was like a significant, oh my God, we deserve to lose loss, was the Everton game, and that was the first sign of weakness in our squad. And that was the first time teams found out a crack in our armour. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Because, obviously we played Everton not too long again afterwards, and we wept the floor with them. It was fine. But that game was the first game, I believe, where you could see there was a weakness in us, and that sort of thing, you know? So I'd have to say the Everton game was arguably one of the worst moments of the season, but because then we went on a little winless run afterwards as well, which wasn't ideal. We could have picked up easy points after that, but we didn't. We could have been. I remember we could have been in
the Brentford game was just after that as well. With the
and then the Brentford game, and then there was another game that we should have had probably should have gotten a win, but we were ruined by.
If we had these last two games would not have mattered. if we had gotten our rightful goal disallowed from Brentford.
This is what I was saying. I said this last week on the podcast. I think the more significant dropping of the more significant draw, like the more significant dropping 2 points that we've had this season wasn't the Liverpool game. Wasn't the Liverpool game. It's the Brentford game. This is what I said last week on this very podcast. I think that Brentford game will cost us more than the Liverpool game. And even the West Ham game. It's ridiculous. And I think that Everton game really screwed us over. And you mentioned the Brentford game. I think that for me that's tied. I can't pick between the two. So if I had to pick a dishonourable mention, I'd go with the game yesterday against West Ham. So moving on to
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah,
Can I ask you guys all a collective question? Yeah.
Please.
Does anyone still have hope that we're going to win the league?
Yeah. It's the hope that kills, but I've got hope.
Hell no. No. Hell no.
I don't know, man.
City, you're too good, man.
I don't know.
It's all in that City game. That's it.
I've been saying this for a while. All we need to do, I think I said this last week again as well, and I've been saying this for a while. Phantom, you know this. As long as we don't lose to City, we'll be fine at the Etihad. As long as we don't lose. We would have been way more comfortable if it was a 3-point gap. Now it's going to be a 1-point gap if they win their game in hand. As long as we don't lose, I still think we will just squeak it by the skin of our teeth. Yeah. So I've still got hope.
It can't be by goal difference.
Yeah, but we'll be 1 point ahead. We'll be 1 point ahead. If they win their game in hand.
Arsenal are just different. If we win this season like this is another one of those things where you know how we go through the checkpoints of our season, like the things that we've gone through. If we win the league now, after all of this, and then the last 2 games that we've seen, and then we go and beat them at the Etihad, and then we go and win this league. Haaland has scored how many goals?
45 in all competitions. I think that's the last time I checked. I think he scored more since.
What are we doing? If we win this league, and that guy's been doing this guy, just think about this, Man City already a mad team. Haaland has come in and hit the ground running. In fact, he's exceeded expectations. Like he has literally come in and hit flying. He hasn't even hit the ground. It just hovered above the ground and flew.
And he's still.
And if we beat that,
21, 22. How old is he? He's like, he's
Haaland.
a kid. He is like 1 or 2 years older than me. He's like a couple years older than me. I'm 20, and he's like 21, 22. He is nowhere near his peak. If he peaks now, honestly. Oh my God.
And I think just to clarify what I was saying, like, bro, you look at that team, they've got Haaland, they already had De Bruyne, Ederson, Ruben Diaz, Stones looks like one of the best centre-backs in the world right now. Grealish is now looking like one of the best wingers in the world. Like, bro, you look around at that team and nobody is not firing. And when you look at us, there's still some, like, I don't know what the hell is going on a little bit, but we kind of have faith.
One
but
injury,
it's still...
Yeah.
Saliba, bro, that's the one thing that's killing me, because if Saliba wasn't injured, I'd have so much more confidence. But when you look and you just see Holding, it's not that he's not that Holding's
Tomiyasu,
bad. Exactly.
Tomiyasu
Holding is not bad, but
no, he is. He's
just
bad.
Not Saliba, so
he is bad.
Great.
He's not Arsenal.
I don't think he's been horrible.
Yeah, but he's not Arsenal.
But he's just not. Yeah, he's just not top quality.
Well,
that's what
we'll save that.
Yeah.
We'll save that for one of the last 2 questions, because we can talk about that in a bit. Real quick fire before we actually move on to the very next subject. Who's been your standout performers for this season? Best player for the team this season? Kems.
Oh man. Okay. Oh man. There's so many players. There's so many.
You have
players,
to pick
man.
one. Just one.
If I had to go with one, I go Martinelli. But shout out to Ramsdale, Saka, and Odegaard.
Yeah. They've all had very good seasons. Said.
It's tough to narrow it down to just one.
It's a very good luxury to not be able to narrow it down.
Exactly.
Honestly, it's insane.
There's a few standouts. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go for a dark horse. I want to go Gabriel. I think he's been
Respect.
I can hear that.
Phenomenal. He's been the best defender in the league since the World Cup.
Fans, what about you?
I'm gonna say
Gabriel.
I'm gonna put Saka on like an island on his own. Like he's not even in this discussion. He's just on something. He's been playing right wing with no cover, nothing. Playing every single game, even in the Carabao Cup, in the UEFA. He just plays, and he's I don't know, man. Saka's is on his own. So, but I'm gonna agree with Said. Magalhaes was even against West Ham. The only guy who had the title in his eyes was Magalhaes. Like if you play like that. The way you played against West Ham yesterday in Invincibles team, you can hang, no problem. Right. You had everything in there.
For me, if I had to pick one, I'd go with probably Gabriel or Martinelli. Funnily enough, Gabriel Martinelli. I can't. You know what? I actually can't pick one. I can't pick one. For me, it's a tie. Funnily enough, you know what? I said I have to pick one, so I'll pick one. I'm gonna pick Martinelli. There we go. Right.
Yeah. 2-2. Come on.
Next subject. Should Bukayo Saka be dropped from the squad?
Huh?
What are we saying?
The plot twist. That was a plot twist.
This is a question I've been given.
That threw me off.
This is a question I've been
That
given.
threw me off. What the hell?
They dropped for who? For who? Who even is there to drop Saka for?
Reece Nelson.
Oh.
There's no way.
You know, that's how I'm seeing. That's how I'm seeing that question.
We'll keep this one short because I think
should we start Reece Nelson the next game? Basically, the question you're asking.
We'll keep this one short because I'm sure we'll all agree with this. And we'll all, you know what? We're just going to say one-worded answer for this one. Kems, one word.
No.
Said.
Not a chance. That's very good.
Haroon, you're a bad guy. That's what I'm gonna say. Nay. If we're gonna go, into the final stretch with Reece Nelson on the right, I'm done. I'm done.
I have to agree. That is a very silly question. No, he should not be dropped. Haroon says, "Is Saka the best right wing in the league this season?" Salah just scored 2 for tonight for 15 this season. That's a good question in itself as well. I'd have to say. Yes, because Salah's been good. Alisson for Liverpool has also been good. Like, there's been a couple players for Liverpool that have been good, but Salah also has been very, very good. But the team overall has underperformed so much. You can't really put Salah in the discussion as best right winger for this season, I don't think. I think Saka 100% has been arguably the best right winger, arguably best winger this season. But that's I know that sounds really, really silly for me to say, considering what happened yesterday. He missed another penalty. The two very crucial penalties he's missed now. One a couple of years ago with the moment that I won't bring up because it's too painful to talk about, and obviously yesterday. Boys, what are we saying?
We're saying he's world class.
I think he's definitely been the best winger in the league. I don't see the other alternatives. Rashford, you can put him in there. But when it comes to impact, scoring goals, assists, he's just got the full package. There's no one stopping him. He's like, you see teams double teaming him
on his day. On his day, he's great. He's fantastic and such a another young standout player.
I'll just say about Salah, Salah, he's a legend, right, for Liverpool. Like he's overall, obviously, he's better than Saka because he's literally a legend.
We'll agree with that.
Yeah. But this season he's been clinical, but he ain't played at his own level. He's not been at his own level. Liverpool fans, they'll tell you better than I would as an Arsenal fan. But Saka has been absolutely unflamed, even without the goals. Yeah, because you Liverpool fans, you tell me a game where Salah's not scored the goals, but he's just played well. Saka can do that for us. Like literally, he's been doing that for us, even when we're terrible. So.
Kems, can you answer that question for us?
I think he is. And when you look in the world, he's arguably the best right winger in the world. I'm trying to think who else is really arguing with him. I don't know if Messi really still plays right wing. If he does, fair enough, he's better. But other than that, it's really him. He's in a league of his own right now, and I feel like, yeah, if that is Tej, then just accept it, man. Come to Arsenal.
Well, we kept that should Saka be dropped topic nice, short and sweet.
Should Reece Nelson start topic?
No, we're not even going to go there. Who would you replace in this Arsenal team, and who would you bring in? Who wants to go first?
Go on, Kemp.
I know. Sorry, that question threw me off.
Nah, okay, I saw it as well. We're going to completely ignore it.
That's outrageous.
It's a silly question. That is outrageous. Not because we think Holding's better. We know he's not. That's the thing.
Exactly. All right. I feel like the first person that I would probably replace, not like it isn't any shot at him. He's been very good this season, but I feel like we just as a team and the way we want to go, we just kind of need better. It's Granit Xhaka.
I
feel like we've kind of come as yeah.
Who would you bring in to replace him?
We've this season we have. Do I think anyone in the world or just the people available?
Well, we've been linked with Jude Bellingham, so I don't get how we've been linked with Jude Bellingham.
If we're going there, I want Bellingham.
Yeah,
if we're going there, I want Bellingham.
If I told you at this point last season, Arsenal are going to get Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, you would have looked at me like, eh? It's the same Bellingham reaction that you just said.
Yeah.
But
from Man City, both of them, not just one of them, both of them.
But fans. Borussia Dortmund are asking for 130 million.
That's most of our budget.
Yeah, but Declan Rice is being
linked. Think about it like this. Let's get two midfielders, Rice and Bellingham. Just get Rice and Bellingham. We're done. That's all we need. That's literally all we need.
Let's be realistic. Even with Champions League football, our budget is not going to be that high. Okay. If we win the Premier League, I don't even think it will be that high. So let's be realistic. So Granit Xhaka.
If they don't back the manager who just won the Premier League, what more do you want? Stan,
let me put a realistic one. Let me put a realistic one out there.
Realistic one.
My realistic swap for Xhaka is someone. Let's say McAllister.
Yeah,
I feel like McAllister would be a good person to come.
Thank you.
The way he plays, I think, because he gets a lot of goals as well, doesn't he? So I feel like that would be.
We know, Bupe. We know we're dreaming. Okay, we know we're dreaming. Okay,
allow us to dream. We're a bunch of Arsenal fans together, bro.
Okay. What about you, Saeed?
Yeah, it would probably thinking about it. Like Ramsdale just got him. He's number one for a while. Zinchenko,
he's only 24 as well.
Gabriel, they're not going anywhere. Ben White, class all season. It's either Partey or Xhaka for me. One of the two. They're both getting towards their 30s.
Partey, would you say, because of his injury, injury record?
His injury doesn't help him at all.
And Xhaka, because it's Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, you just don't know what you're going to get week in, week out with him, even though he's been amazing this
year. I mean, he's been really good. Yeah, like you just said, he's been great this season. It's been, he's been completely revitalized in this new role Arteta's come up for him, allowing him to go further forward on the pitch, kind of transitioning him from a number 6 to a number 8 now. So, it suited him more, but I agree with you. We do need to.
He is a bit limited in what he can do. So if I had to get
someone else could do that better than him.
Yeah. It'd be Xhaka or Partey, and I'd love to bring in Caicedo.
He's just signed a new contract at Brighton, which I don't understand.
I feel like there could be a release clause. Yeah, I feel there could be a release clause in there. So something I would pay the money for him. He's 22. He's only going to get better. He's just killing it at Brighton.
And he's got Premier League experience again, which is why I'm so keen also on him. And like Kems just said, Alexis McAllister. Oh my God, if we signed Alexis McAllister, I would be in dreamland. Sorry, fans, I'm going to go before you. I'd say again, Granit Xhaka. I love him now, but and we've only literally just come up with a chant for him now after 7 years at the club, which is crazy to think about. But that's because again,
Granit Xhaka, we got.
Yeah. I'd say Granit Xhaka, and I'll agree with Kems. I want to see Alexis McAllister in an Arsenal shirt next season. I really want to see that happen, because I feel like he has the same kind of he's very good at like going forward. He's fantastic, and on the defense, I think he's quality as well. He's able to play at the 6, the 8, the 10. You know, he's very versatile, and that's what Arteta really likes, and he likes to shine on with players like that, like with Ben White, Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu can play anywhere across that back line. You know, he really likes players who are versatile. So yeah, that's my choice. Vance, what are you saying?
I would go Partey and Xhaka, one of those two or both of those two. The two, I've given you the two that I would go with, bruv. Let's just bully everyone. Oh, Declan and Milinkovic, it's over. Do you know what Man City have done? Yeah, what they've found after the World Cup. Yeah, they've just gone power. Back four centre backs, big bodies in midfield. Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne. Those are all big bodies. Even De Bruyne is a big guy. Yeah, they've got Haaland up top. They've got muscle-bound Grealish on the left and Mahrez. The only skinny body now is Mahrez. Am I right? Otherwise, it's all
but
power
even
now.
Then, you can't get the ball off him because he's so good at dribbling.
Like, I've given you the scenario. Imagine, on one of these days, like, if we want to do the Man City thing of like, oh, here we go, we're benching Odegaard today, Milinkovic. Or like, imagine having Partey, Milinkovic, and Rice, and Milinkovic-Savic. But that is bullying, man. That's bullying.
It's funny.
That's bullying.
That's bullying.
That's so peak. Like that. Who wants to with us in midfield? What you want? Like a physical battle, technical ability. What you want? What you want? Them these attacking situations that you see Granit Xhaka getting. Yeah, Milinkovic, he can defend, but I can't lie, he is an attacking 8 in it. If those situations where we're on the left, Martinelli, Zinchenko, and Milinkovic at left 8. Oh my gosh, the attacking scenarios be
endless.
And then Declan Rice as well is waiting in the wings. Bullying.
Yeah, that's good. I like to hear that. I have to ask, in the striking situation, yes, we've got fairly good options, like Gabriel Jesus. Quality player, but is he really a number 9? We got Leandro Trossard, quality player. Again, is he really a number 9? And then we actually have a real number 9, but he's Eddie Nketiah. No disrespect to Eddie Nketiah, I actually love him, but you know, is he what we need? Are they like? Can we rely on them to be? Do we need an out and out striker? By any chance, would anyone say that?
It's funny you mentioned that, because I was reading some reports saying that we're linked with Vlahovic again and Calvert-Lewin. So it looks like Arteta is kind of leaning towards getting another number 9. But I just feel like with Jesus, I feel like he's got the whole package. He's I feel like
does he have that ruthlessness about him when it comes to finishing?
I don't know if he's got that in him.
Because we've seen it before he got injured at the World Cup, that he's capable of missing really easy chances. And he doesn't have that ruthlessness. He doesn't have that clinical finisher about him quite a lot of the time. Like, obviously, the last few games...
But it's funny you say that, but he's got 4 goals in his last 3 games there.
That's what I was about to say. He's done all right. Yes. But do we need a player who can be like Haaland, who can get us 20, 25, 30 goals a season? Or do we keep doing what we're doing, where we spread the goals out across the team?
Do you know what I reckon? I think we're missing an element of devastation in the attacking area. An element that, like I keep saying it yesterday, the perfect man for a game like yesterday against West Ham would have been somebody like Podolski. Because Podolski he would have been so frustrating to watch for the first 50 minutes, but then you just give him the wrong angle and it's 3-1, game over, done. Like, we haven't got that guy who's like, you give it to him and it is done. That's why I want somebody like a Milinkovic-Savic Because if we can't get goals from the front line, our movement up front opens up spaces, and somebody like Milinkovic and Ødegaard can help. And that whole element of that attack and that suffocation, that can create that devastation. Because I think we're excellent at playing out from the back now. Like, I haven't worried about playing out from the back in years, not even once. We can be on our goal line with Ramsdale. My heart doesn't stink anymore, even with Rob Holding. But it's like, once we're over that.
For me, with Rob Holding, I do panic a little bit. He doesn't have that composure.
Yeah, true. But I mean, like, I feel like, you know how, like, let's say Man City, right? They can play out from the back as well. But once they just progress it into that second third and then the final third, it's just devastation. Anything gets through, it's devastating. De Bruyne is tucking it into the bottom corner or slapping it bins or whatever. And Haaland he can have 6 touches in a game and score 2 goals.
Yeah.
Like, we need an ugly element like that.
Yeah. I think we need a ruthless finisher for sure.
Can I go off Phantom quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're jumping the gun a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna disagree. Because I feel like we're looking at City because they have Haaland, but Haaland is not of this world. He's not of this earth. So I feel like us trying to compare what we have to them, we're not the same team to start off with.
Yeah,
and also, we're talking about guys that can just do out of nothing. We just watched Gabriel Martinelli just go on a mad run. I don't even know how many goals he's got in his last 10 games, but I feel like we have those players at our team. Gabriel Martinelli, Saka, 2 arguably the best wingers in the league. And I think the fact that Jesus is in there is one of the reasons why it works so well. That's why when Trossard came in, same thing, because we facilitate for our wingers. I don't think that 9 is as important as we are putting the pressure on to get goals, because goals come from so many different facets in our team.
Agreed.
At the same time, I feel like we just need people to be more lethal. Like you could see the other day.
That's been our.
We just need people to score.
That's what I mean by, like, we need somebody who can have an ugly game and just score a brace. With doing nothing in the game, but just like, there you go, 2 goals. Done.
You know what we should do? We just need to call this man back. We just need to ask him to lace up his boots again. Like, just for, like,
hey, if he fancies it, if
he's up for it, mate, we just need to call him back. Yo, TT, can you come back? Yeah,
he's starting.
Someone else.
Well, he's starting at the Etihad.
Kylian, no, obviously not Kylian Mbappe. But
Aubameyang's in the market again.
Oh no! Jesus, no, let's not go there again. Quick, we got just this here. A question from Bupe. Quick side question to the panel.
Do it.
Just mention a name. Which is more deadly, Haaland in City or Aguero in City?
Oh man!
I had this argument. Tough. I had this argument with Bupe. Yeah, I had this argument with Bupe. I have to start off and lead this. Yeah, in my opinion, I am less afraid of Haaland purely because I'm happy for my centre backs to battle him, because if you cut off the supply line to him, he's not scoring and he's not going to impact the game. Whereas Aguero, I fear Aguero, because for me, that guy, for one, he's 90% as clinical as Erling Haaland. And on top of that, he can work stuff by himself. Like, if you ask Pep Guardiola right now, who would you rather have up front, Erling Haaland or Aguero? What do you think he's going to tell you?
He liked to score against us. He really liked to score against us, particularly for fun, I remember, Aguero.
I'm telling you,
I'll say Aguero as well. For now, I'll say Aguero. What do you say, boys? Well, Kem, Said?
I'm going Aguero. 100%.
I'm saying Aguero. I'm going Haaland, boys. I'm going Haaland.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. What I'm gonna give you a reason why, yeah. This is specifically for us right now.
Yeah.
I feel like if we want to beat City, we're gonna have to do our thing, pass it around, go at them, draw people here, and by the time we get to them, if they counter now, Haaland is going to murder people. Like, I don't think Aguero is really in behind.
Imagine
he's just
Aguero.
not as devastating as Haaland. Haaland is terrifying.
That's the thing. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It doesn't even need to be in behind. It can be in front of you, and then it will go through you like this, and then put it in the bottom corner. Like Aguero,
I think Haaland does that as well.
Yeah, Aguero at the Etihad, he could destroy us. Do you get what I'm talking about? Aguero can destroy us.
He, like I just said, I swear he has a terrifying.
Yeah.
I swear he has a crazy record against us specifically. Like, nah, Aguero
loved it against us.
Last topic, and we got to keep it nice and short and sweet here, boys. If you could, what 5 players or what players from the squad would you get rid of?
I have many.
Go first.
I give you 6 1 for free.
Okay. Go.
Rob Holding.
Yep.
Is Cedric still our property? We sold him.
He's on loan at Fulham, so he's still ours. Yeah.
Cedric. We go Reece Nelson. I would go.
You get rid of Reece.
Yep. Upgrade on him. Please get rid of Reece Nelson immediately, please.
Get not Reece, man. Come on, not Reece.
Nelson. You see, this is what I hate about academy players. You get sentimental towards them. Reece Nelson, how long have you had here? And what are we waiting for?
Come on, man.
Take Maitland-Niles. Take Maitland-Niles.
Is he Alex Iwobi?
Take Maitland-Niles. Leave Reece.
Yeah, we've still got Maitland-Niles.
Bro, I can tell you right now, if we buy a winger, if Arsenal Football Club, the way we've been doing business, if we sell Reece Nelson and replace him, I expect him to be a better player than Reece Nelson.
Nah.
Call me crazy.
How many is that? How many is that you've named? Quickly, how many is that you've named? Is that 3?
It was Rob Holding, Cedric Suarez, Reece Nelson. We may as well get rid of Nicola Pepe now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's still ours.
Like,
100%.
You've still got Nuno Tavares on loan. You've still got Balogun. You've still got. I'll say Nuno because he ain't making it over here.
So you're keeping Maitland-Niles.
Niles. In fact, yeah. Take Tavares out and put Niles there. Or there you go. I remember I told you I'll give you a 6 1 for free.
6 1. Okay,
Niles or Tavares. Take what you want.
Kems.
Holding has to go.
It's time to go.
Okay.
What's he doing? Yeah.
He has to go, blood. He has to go, blood.
Have you been seeing the stuff about Balogun saying that he might want to leave?
You know what?
So
we've had an interesting. Honestly,
so I'm thinking.
On a side note, we've had an interesting striker situation this season. Eddie Nketiah has proved a bit more than we expected, but it might still not be good enough. Gabriel Jesus is Jesus. Balogun's Balogun. We've got Trossard. We've had an interesting thing to look at over the summer about what we're going to do at strike.
Yeah. Kems, keep going. What are you saying?
And I've kind of, I've been seeing that Balogun might want to leave because he wants first team football. Well, obviously, he's having an amazing season. So I feel like you cash in on Balogun, see what we can get. Maybe, you never know, in this market, maybe like 50, 60 million.
That could help us fund other areas. That's probably a good,
I'm telling you, and then Bellingham's back on. And then he has to go. I would probably get rid of. I'd probably get rid of Pepe, Maitland-Niles. So what's that? Holding, Balogun, Pepe, Maitland-Niles, and who else? Cedric.
Okay, Saeed.
I'm gonna go Cedric, Holding, Maitland-Niles, Balogun for the money. And the last one might surprise you. I'm going to go Jorginho. I feel like he's a 6-month rental. I'm not really the biggest fan of his game, but I feel like if we get rid of him, I think he was only here just to help us win the league. Get rid of him, bring in 2 players in that position. Cedric, Caicedo or Rice.
Yeah, but you can just keep him. His contract's running out. Summer.
Saeed is still rattled that we signed a Chelsea player.
Not even that. He signed an 18-month contract, so he's here till like January, like next season. Not even the summer next season. I think
it's like a 14-month.
I'm a fraud. Get me? I'm a fraud. See you later, guys. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I feel like it's an area we can improve on. I feel like with the players we're being linked with as well, Jorginho is just not going to cut it. Right. Especially, I feel like he's good for the next 6 months.
What about Charlie Patino?
Yeah, we've got a Patino.
No, we keep
coming
Charlie
through the
Patino. What are you
Yeah,
on
we'll
about,
keep
man?
him. Keep him. He's coming.
I know, keep him. No, I'm saying keep him, but yeah, he could replace Jorginho.
Get your brain fixed.
Can I just
No,
say?
I'm saying
Can I just say
keep
though?
him, 100%.
I've been watching a bit of Charlie Patino, and you know that kind of relaxed found run that Samuel Lokonga does when he's off the ball.
I love it.
Yeah, Patino's still got that.
This is the thing. I'm gonna name my 5 now. I'm gonna name my 5. I'm gonna say Rob Holding, Nicolas Pepe, Cedric. I'm surprised. You know what? I'm not surprised, but this is gonna shock some of you boys. Kieran Tierney. I get rid of Kieran Tierney, not because I think he's a bad player. I actually love Kieran Tierney. I love him with all my heart because he came from Celtic. Celtic is like my second team because of my mum. So like Tierney was actually my favourite player when he first joined. But he just doesn't suit our system. He doesn't. He's not able to play that inverted fullback role. Like he can't, can he? It's not his way.
Yeah, you kind of saw it against West Ham. Like he looked like a fish out of water.
Exactly
my point. I think we get rid of him.
It's the hoofball. It's the hoofball. You know, sometimes we're just like, there you go, short pass to Salva, do it. And it's like, hoof.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think we get rid of him. So that's Holding, Pepe, Cedric, and Tierney. Purely Tierney, so we could I think we could get half decent money, probably around the same that we bought him for, I think, which will be fine. But it's more just so he can progress his career because I just personally really like him, and I think he's done the best he can. But we're moving in a different direction now as a club, and again, this is another player who I really, really love. But I think we just need to start thinking, going up to another level, and it has to be, for me, I know he's just signed a contract, but we have to get rid of Mohamed Elneny. I love Mohamed. I love Elneny.
I hear you, but yeah, I love him, man.
I love him. I love him with all my heart as well. But
I love him from a distance, bro.
Exactly.
I love him from a distance, bro. I am not.
You're cold-hearted, bro. You're cold-hearted.
I'm not cold-hearted, bro. You are welcome. If you ever want to come back to the Emirates, any capacity, yeah, you're welcome. We'll hospitalize you. We'll look after you, but you ain't playing for us anymore. I'm sorry.
We need to start thinking about bringing in level raisers. Do you know what I mean? Level raisers. Mohamed Elneny is not that. So, unfortunately, he's got to go. So, yeah, for me, Holding, Pepe, Cedric, Tierney, Elneny. The reason why I didn't say any of the younger players, so Tavares, or I haven't said Maitland-Niles, but I think I'll add him as a free 6-1 like you fans. Maitland-Niles has got to go as well. But Tavares, Lokonga, players like that, the younger kind of players who still have time to progress, I think we should still give them that time because they're still really, really young. They've still got a long way to go. I think there's a player in Lokonga that could be used eventually in the future once he figures it out, and the same goes for Tavares, but Tavares is a more tricky egg to crack, so we'll see anyway. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been the For the Badge podcast, the Arsenal special. Thank you again so much for watching. I've been Alfie, I've been your host. This has been Fance, Kems, Saeed. Boys, thank you so much for joining. And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, lad. The podcast is better than the match.
Thank you.